Good evening. Welcome to WSBI, your Resource for Success podcast program, where you get to meet inspiring women-owned businesses from across the country. My name is Kimberly McLemore, and I am your host. With us, we have Christal Carter, founder and owner of Evolution Business Alliance. Welcome, Christal.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. How are you doing today?
We are awesome. It's the weekend. We're ready to roll with this.
All right. I know it's a good evening. It's we finally got this thing rocking and rolling. It's been a struggle for the last week or so to get this going, but I do appreciate the opportunity for you taking out of your busy day to talk with me. So what I would like you to do is just tell our listeners a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, as you already said, my name is Christal Carter, and I own Evolution Business Alliance, which makes me more of a business resource company that supports business owners. And I do the business as well as I'm a mom. I have a 4-year-old who just graduated pre-K, and we're looking forward to the summer in kindergarten. So, and the company's been is part of my passion. So I'm excited to be able to start working. Get to working in my field and what I love doing.
Okay. All right, great. Just tell me a little bit more about you personally. I believe you are a native Washingtonian, so you're from this area, correct?
Oh, yes. Born and raised here, born at George Washington Hospital in downtown D.C., and I grew up in Prince George's County. I'm a product of the Prince George's County public school system. This past year, I actually had the honor of serving as president of a PTO at my son's school, which really gave me a little bit more insight into the school system, as well as I attend First Baptist Church of Glenarden, and I'm actively a part of a couple of ministries there.
Okay, great. Excellent. So tell me a little bit about who inspired you to want to come into business. And then once we talk a little bit about that, tell me how you did get into this business.
I've always had a passion for business. Like, we play Monopoly, and that was my game. I'm serious. I'm going to get everybody's money. I'm going to make the money. And Monopoly they were like, okay, don't play Monopoly with her because she's cutthroat with it, right? She's going to have everybody like stacks of bills and everybody's going to be mad. So I had to learn how to dial it back because I wanted people to continue to play with me.
Okay.
But actually, that was kind of the thing. I developed early on a passion for business. And I always wanted to do something business related, but when you're young, you have ideas of what you want to do, but haven't quite figured it out exactly.
Right.
So it took a minute to really try to figure out where my niche was. I looked at people like Lisa Nichols and different business owners I have run across in the community, and I saw them doing what they love to do. But when in the beginning, I really wasn't sure what exactly my niche was or how I fit. And then as time has gone on and I did a series of careers. I started off as an admin, then an IT tech, then a trainer. I really discovered that I still had that passion for business, but it now was combined with the passion for training. And then I discovered that I ran across business owners that were trying to think of solutions, and I could think of those things, problems. If I was when I was an admin, I look at problems in the office, and I could fix stuff like quick, come up with ideas to make certain things work. Sometimes revamping, even chiming in on some people's tools and revamping campaigns for the companies
Mm-hmm.
that I work for. So I realized I had a knack, but I didn't quite know exactly how to do it. Um, and how I got started in business was because some friends were having drinks in at a Mexican restaurant, and they were trying to figure out how to put a plan together for a business they were trying to do. And I literally, while eating bad Mexican food and drinking margaritas, sketched out on some napkins a business plan for them. And they were like, "You're working as a corporate IT trainer, traveling the country. Why are you not doing this?"
Right.
And that really kind of turned the light bulb. Oh, so that kind of explained where I had a passion for business and a passion for training. Now I could kind of bring the two together to make it into a business that I could really help business owners with the stuff they didn't know.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that is excellent. I love that story. I really love the part about the monopoly because it's funny how when people play that game, for those who do remember the original Monopoly game back in the day, it was one of those games where it actually teaches you how to, where you're going to see yourself when you grow up, type situation. How do you handle your money? When are you going to purchase a home? And I think that's a really good concept that you utilize in order to figure out that you did have some sort of passion. And then, like you said, it does take some years sometimes to figure out what we want to do when we grow up. And even when we are grown, we still are trying to figure it out. And that's okay. But I love the fact that you have that capability of seeing something that somebody else can't see, and you make it become to fruition, but in a different format. So I think that's really interesting. So tell me a little bit about how many years have you been in the actual business that you are currently running?
This business originally existed 2000, from 2003 up until 2009. I was running the business, but I was also working as a corporate trainer.
Mm-hmm.
The business really took on its shape between 2007 to 2009. In 2009, we were unfortunate that not building, knowing what you want to do, but not knowing how to build it right,
Mm-hmm.
can cost you. So in 2009, I had a car accident, and which made me have to shut the business down for a while. And we recently reopened the business last year because I wanted to I kept feeling that draw to get back to what I know and
Right.
what I love. So we reopened the doors of the business last year, and we've been opening it originally like on a shoestring, and we're steadily migrating to where we're going to be able to run. Eventually, the goal is in the next 3 years to be able to do the business full time and not teeter between that and employment.
Okay, yeah, but that's it's unfortunate, but at least it has given you an opportunity to kind of step back and see, being that you had to restart kind of over again, how you would move forward through these phases and what's going to be more beneficial for you as well as for your customers. So, unfortunately, sometimes we have the negative, but that negative turned into something positive. Describe to me a little bit about some of the business services that you provide through your company.
Well, like I said, we're primarily a business resource company. So
Okay.
like we have businesses that need service, either they're looking for services and they don't want to go through the trouble of trying to let me find an accountant, and not trying to go through the task of trying to find an accountant that understands the industry
Mm-hmm.
and interview them. We actually can save business owners some time because we've already vetted these people, different services that they need, and we can actually match them with somebody that understands how a beauty salon business works versus someone that doesn't, someone having to go out and go through the trouble of finding an accountant and testing this person out and testing that person out only to find out that none of them really understand their industry. So
Right.
one of the services is more or less like a referral service, because we help them find services that we don't necessarily offer, but match them with companies that already understand who they are
Okay.
and what they do.
Mm-hmm.
The other part of it is that we offer project management services. I have a client right now that's launching another business, but she
Mm-hmm.
needed a project manager to actually oversee all the steps and make sure she was on point with everything, what was due, when,
Mm-hmm.
and how. And so we've taken on the role with her as a project manager and overseeing everything, every piece of this business from A to Z, and making sure, hey, this is due, hey, that's due. Wait a minute, you haven't reviewed this document. We got to set up a time for this. And that service actually helps business owners by having a project manager to come in, helps them not know what they need to do, but have somebody else push them along.
Right.
Another great service that we offer is you have an idea, but you're not really sure how to flesh it out. The business development piece is a lot of fun for me because, again, it's like playing Monopoly for real. You
Mm-hmm.
can actually take an idea and we'll work with you to start building that idea out and really kind of fleshing it out to make it to mold it from just an idea in your head or on a piece of paper to seeing how you can turn that into a great opportunity and help you develop a business plan to start off where you're going to start off from A to eventually grow to the end of the alphabet where you're able to run that business full time
Mm-hmm.
successfully if that's what your goal is for that business. So the business planning and the business development piece is probably the key, the core of my passion because it lets me do training and help business owners take an idea that's in their head and turn it into something more.
Right. Right. And I love that. The thing that I really like about your services is a lot of times we all find people when they come into business, people are so focused on what it is they specifically do and they forget about the rest of what it takes to run the business. And I think a lot of times, and the people have heard me say this a million times about learning how to stay in your lane and knowing your strengths and weaknesses, understanding that it's okay to reach out to people that can help you, when, like I said, when it comes to finding an accountant, if you need an accountant, or other strategists, or whatever it is you may need for the business, but knowing that you need that service, but trying to find the person is also another part that is difficult sometimes when you are maybe new in the community or you may not have as many people you can reach out to personally. So I think your service is awesome and is definitely needed, and I like the way that you can also have like basically a collaborative opportunity for other business owners. So we definitely need to talk a little bit more after this interview because I'm like, oh, this is really good. This is really good. But the other thing I wanted to ask you, you talked a little bit about your challenges. Is there any other challenges you think that you've had to go through that you want to share that with other people who may be wanting to come into business, or some of the things that you see that would be more beneficial that you could help them with? You want to talk a
One
little
of
bit
the
about that?
one of the big challenges that I came into when I relaunched was when I was originally running my business. There was no social media, there was no Facebook, there was no
Mm-hmm.
Instagram and all this. So I came into this now all of a sudden. I came back into this having to have a learning curve. I was
Mm-hmm.
old school. I got out. I networked with people as I did work. I got referrals. People knew my name, what they're now calling your brand that wasn't called your brand before. A lot of the lingo and some things that changed and dynamics of the industry. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, I had to kind of step back and find some people that knew what I didn't know and learn. I'm still learning. Some things, social media is still one of those areas that I still haven't quite mastered, but I've gotten the hang of.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the real learning curve. And with me starting over a business that originally I was known by name originally the business was in Atlanta and I was known predominantly in Atlanta for my company. I had to take a hard listen to one of my mentors and he said, I like the name of your business, but it doesn't tell me what you do. And so then we actually ended up completely rebranding the business
Mm-hmm.
and developed, not running off of previous name recognition because it also had been some time with that. And now we
Right.
had to completely build a new target market under a new name.
Mm-hmm.
Everything basically starting over for the services and the quality of the services didn't change, but the image of it changed. And
Right.
I was now the face of my company versus where before I could kind of hide behind the scenes and, oh, I know that company and go off of that. I now
Mm-hmm.
didn't have it. So there was some definite learning curves and adjustments on how I did business and how I needed to do business going forward. So it really made a difference.
Right, but like I said, what you're talking about though is the reality of going into any business, and I loved what you're talking about on the social media side because I've gone through that same piece and still going through that in business because when my previous businesses, I always had done the same thing. You have that face to face, that was something that we were raised with, is learning how to communicate in front of people and realizing that communication piece was probably the most important piece. And like I say, all we did was pick up the phone back then and then go and talk to you and stand in front of a classroom and train. Where today, that is definitely not the way things are being done. And I always tell people that, at this point, social media is almost a huge brain part of your business. It takes over a significant part of it. And if you don't have that aspect, you will pretty much fail, because that's the only way people want to find you, or that's how they find you nowadays. Even though the word of mouth is still really important aspect of the business, the social media piece is number one right now when it comes to launching any business. And the other thing that I like that you were talking about is the fact that you truly understood that you had to rebrand yourself when you had to come out in branding image, like I said, is a huge piece of your business as well. If people don't understand who you are, they may like who you are and may like the services, but if they don't understand what that name means, that you're right, they can't figure it out. So I think that's really awesome that you recognize your challenges and you took that step forward to make sure that your business will continue to be the better business. And like I said, the services are great, but at the same token, you want to make sure that people can find you in the right capacity. So you've talked to me a little bit about the challenges, and you absolutely have talked about some of your successes. But if you had to pick out one success that really means something to you, what would that success be?
Um, one of the things we got to do when the business was originally running was, we got to had the opportunity to work with, our organization and train, take a staff that didn't know how to use computers at all. And they were going to handhelds. And these are gentlemen that were maintenance men for this organization, and they were now changing their work orders over from where they would get paperwork orders. And now they had to transition to using a handheld device that had their work orders, and they had to learn how to download it to the computer. And it was kind of fun because these guys came in class and they were all like, I can't use a computer. I've been doing this for years. And the fun of seeing them afterwards, when I had a chance to go back and do like a spot check to see how they were doing, were there any areas we needed to help with, they were like so proud of themselves that, hey, we got this down. What are you doing here? I can teach you now. It's kind of, it was the fun part because it showed they had really, I felt like my training had really been able to help and empower them. So when they first were very negative and nervous about the technology they had to transition to, the way we trained it felt like it helped them, and it made them less intimidated by it. But then to see them come to stop it and do a spot check and see how proud they were about the work we had done with them was like, wow, this really had a great impact. And to me, that was a lot of fun. It kind of, like, oh, my babies.
Yeah, I hear you. I think that's awesome because, like I said, it's probably no different than how you felt, like I said, when you had to start all over and deal with the new social media piece. I mean, we all kind of feel that way because we come from a different era, so to speak, where you had to do everything in the process of just being in front of people. Because I'm the same way. I love, being able to sit behind the microphone. It's funny because I enjoy talking to people up front and doing speaking engagements. But if you do a video on me, I'm like, really? It's like, I don't want to do that. But when you get the opportunity to do it, you do feel proud. And so I think it's great that your services will continue to help individuals, bring out the best of themselves and, so that their businesses can be successful. So I think that is a very important piece of the business that you have. The other thing I wanted to ask you about is that, we have many other women who are listening to this program and they want to start their own businesses. What other piece of advice would you give another woman who wants to start a business?
I would say, number one, don't talk to your friends. Unless they're get around other business owners, other people that have a better grasp of being in business and being an entrepreneur, or whatever it is you want to do, jumping out into that lane. Because when you get around your friends and your family and they don't get it, they start looking at you a little cross-eyed and a little funny. So you have to get around people that are where you want to go or higher.
Right. I agree with that.
And that, so like they say, how can you fly like an eagle when you're surrounded by a bunch of turkeys? Very, very
Sorry. I had to think about what you just said.
Yeah, you can't, they're not going to get it. So trying to tell, if you're talking about your dream to somebody else that doesn't have a similar dream or that's not like-minded,
right?
They're looking at you like, okay, that girl better stop trying to do all that and go get keep that good government job or whatever job she got. And if you need extra money, just do it on the side. You ain't got to really do whatever. Don't be around people. You can't tell everybody your dream, and you have to be around people that are actually where you want to go, if not better. And you also have to, really important, and this is what I had to do when I restarted, invest in your education.
Yes.
Invest in your education. You never know everything. There's always room for improvement. every time I think I have something down, I may take a class from the Small Business Administration or other places that offer classes about business to see what I don't know or help reinforce something I do know and see what's changed and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're in my market, I cross like IT training and business. There's an unlimited opportunity to learn and grow. So I have to make that time. Even if I'm up in the middle of the night after my son goes to bed, reading a book or, taking an hour, maybe take my lunch hour or something and stop and spend 20 minutes here, or they say you should read at least every day, at least 20 minutes a day. You have to find time to make sure that you learn and sow into yourself because you have to continue to grow and learn. A business that does not continue to grow and learn becomes stagnant and you're going to get left in the dust.
Absolutely. Oh, amen. You absolutely hit that out of the park. You're absolutely right. There's people who need to understand you have to invest in you. And it's okay, you have those who have the fear of the unknown, but those who fear something will never realize what life is really truly all about. And fear is nothing more than just us or somebody telling you what you can and cannot do. But I'd love the part about, you're talking about getting, investing in yourself and getting continual education if you need it. Also, I think it's really important that you talked about earlier about having that mentor that can guide you when you need something, when you can't always think about it on your own and you realize that you're kind of stuck. A mentor is always a number one piece that you should have on your team. And the other thing that I think is really important is that, when you're in business, you need to share your resources, share this guidance, because part of it is that you don't know everything. And but at the same token, you should not have to reinvent the wheel. If there's somebody else who's out here doing business, you should all be able to talk to each other, learn from each other, consult and collaborate so that you can continue to all to be strong. Because like I always tell people, we're stronger together than we are apart.
Amen.
So I applaud, everything that you're doing. I think it's fantastic. Like I said, your services are definitely needed in this community and outside of this community. And that's the beauty about you being a part of the Women's Small Business Initiative, which you are a member, on. And other women can reach out to you from across the country and ask you these same questions and get the services that you are providing. So, like I said, I applaud you. The one thing I do want to ask you, though, is how can the listeners get a hold of you?
You can reach me two ways. First, our website, evolutionbusinessalliance.com. You can reach me through there. There's a contact us link on the website. You can also reach me. I'm on Facebook. If you look up either my name, Christal Carter, but Christal spelled CHRISTAL Carter. I have a Facebook page. The company also has a Facebook page. Reach out. Please feel free to reach out to me. If I can't do it for you or it's not the right time for us to work together, I have other business partners that we can put you in touch with that it may be a better positioning for you with them versus with me. I don't be trying to okay, if you come to me, you're mine.
Right.
It's like, I want to help you, and we'll have an initial 30-minute consultation to talk about your business or your goals, where you are, what you need, and then from there we'll see if we're a good fit, and if we're not a good fit, we can match you with someone else that is. But the whole goal is to make sure that you ultimately get what you need.
Absolutely. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you again for coming out tonight and sharing your story with us. I think that you've done a fantastic job. I just want to ask you, do you have any last words that you would like to share?
I just want to tell everybody, if this is your dream, don't let the dream killer shoot it down. Still keep your dream, and then just find another, some other friends.
Exactly. Keep moving forward, right?
Right. Don't let go, because I've personally had to step back and regroup because of my accident, and then to be able to move forward. But I still kept that flame lit, even though it may be low burning flame. I kept it lit, and I'm still following my passion, because when you're working what you want to do, it doesn't feel like work. It's like you get to go play all day. And That makes a difference, and that makes it easier to get the job done. And that also makes clients want to flock to you a little more, because they see your light and your energy and your passion for what you're doing. So don't let anybody shoot down your dream.
Amen. And well said. Again, thank you for coming on with me tonight and sharing your story. For everyone else, I would like to say good night. We'll be back here every Thursday evening at 7 p.m. If you would like to reach out to me and review the WSBI website anytime, you can go to www.wsbillc.com. You can also find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. But until then, you enjoy the rest of your evening.